I'm the youngest in my family and have two brothers and two sisters that are all older than me. The closest in age to me is Josh, who's 6 years older. One day, Josh and I got into a little bit of an argument, probably about like chores or something else silly. But later that day, my dad pulled me aside and asked me if I knew what something called the golden rule was. I shook my head no, but kind of wanted to find out because it sounded cool. He sat me on his lap and said that the golden rule, which was found in Matthew 7, was to treat others as you want to be treated yourself. Whew, well, that kind of turned things around a little bit. I mean, that kind of meant that I couldn't just barge into my brother's room without asking, and, because I wouldn't like that. And that kind of meant that I should ask my sister before just borrowing something of hers, because I wouldn't like if she didn't ask me. Suddenly there was just this whole list of things that I realized I was doing that I wouldn't want others to do to me. Sometimes I think it can become a habit to only think about what we want and not even consider how it affects other people. Not only when it comes to things like asking a sister before just taking something of hers, but in doing the chores that our parents have asked us to do. Okay, so as boring and awful as chores can be at times, they're just part of a responsibility that we all have in living everyday life. If we just brush them off and say, oh well, my parents can do that, well, how would you feel if you were them and someone made you do all the work by yourself? Let's face it, we all have things like taking out the garbage, doing the dishes, and cleaning our room that we just straight up don't want to do. The truth is, we have to. And if we don't, we're giving someone else twice as much work to do. And that's just mean. So why don't you try and experiment this week? Do one of your siblings or parents' chores for them without them asking you to. See what happens. Jesus said in Acts 20:35 that it's better to give than to receive. If God sees that we can be faithful with little things like chores and how we treat other people with respecting their stuff, who knows? Maybe He'll give us something really big and cool to take on. You know why? Because we'll have proved that we can do the little things, so we can totally handle the big ones.